So you've started your outline by figuring out a turning point and a high-level version of the first half of your story. Now let's talk about the second half of your story. What happens after the turning point? Hey, I'm Megan, a professional writer, writing coach, and published author, and I love talking about all things writing. Today we're going to continue on in a series I've been doing about outlining, showing you how I like to break down my own outlines into 3 chunks. Chunks number 1 and 2 are in other videos. This video is going to be about chunk number 3, aka the second half of your outline. If you've seen my other outline videos, you know that I suggest doing a couple of things before you start outlining. One is figure out your story's premise. This is like a really simple line that tells you what your story is about, what your main character is going to learn, and how they're going to change. And the second thing you can do is develop your characters. Really, you want to know to what extent they agree or disagree with your premise. So as I said, the first 2 videos kind of talk about the first 2 steps in outlining. We're going to jump in with the outline that I've been working on so far. So for a refresher, this is the premise I'm working with. Vulnerability opens the door for more meaningful relationships and deeper healing. And then this is where my outline is right now. Remember, we always start with really big picture points and then add detail in subsequent drafts. So if you're outlining a story and you're getting stuck in all the details, try to take things up a level and make it more general and see if that helps. So I'm picking up right after the turning point now, where my main character and her friend have argued essentially that she keeps avoiding vulnerability. So the whole idea with a turning point is to have my main character start to think the premise could be true. So from here, I need to think about what kinds of events would help her get from this argument to a place where she can accept that vulnerability is actually valuable. So keeping this really high level, I think maybe something that would happen right after an argument is maybe she reflects on the argument. She wonders if what her friend said was true or warranted, or whether it was complete garbage. Since this is happening after the turning point, she's probably going to lean towards thinking that what he said has some weight. Maybe she's reminded of some memories that reinforce what her friend said. You know, maybe he calls her out on some things she's done before and she thinks back on them and goes, oh, yeah, I did do that. I think going on from there, she and her dad are going to interact and she's going to see that they have a lot of things in common, and that's going to scare her. And that will be a catalyst for her first act of vulnerability. I'm not sure what that's going to be yet, but she's going to realize that it's hard, it's a little bit scary, but she feels better afterwards. And that's going to reinforce the idea that vulnerability is something that she should be open to. So because that was kind of a good experience, she's going to try another small act of vulnerability. And then I think something should happen that makes it harder for her to keep trying. Like she's kind of on a good path and then something triggers her and she goes right back into her old habits. Then maybe she leans on her friend, or her friend is there to kind of help her get through that. Maybe she's going to learn something new from him. And then eventually we're going to get to the end of the story where the main character is accepting the premise and realizing the true value of vulnerability. I think these are even higher level points in the first half of my outline. Like literally it's just like she does something and then she does something else and then she does something else. But seriously, I would much rather have a really high level outline that's complete than not have an outline at all, or have half of a really detailed outline and no idea where to take it from there. As I go back and add detail, I'll likely change points out, swap things in, move things around, add a lot of different points. It's not like each point is a chapter, it's just a starting point. And I said this before, but if you want a video showing how I go from big picture outline to more detailed outline, let me know. But hopefully this gives you a little bit of a picture of how to work on that second half of your outline. When in doubt, just take it step by step, 1 point at a time. Think about your turning point and ask yourself, okay, right after that turning point, right after that situation or event happened, what might my character do? And then depending on your answer to that, what would that lead them to do next? And remember, they're always moving inch by inch, little by little towards the premise. So hopefully this helps you as you continue to work on your outline. If you have questions as you go, leave me a comment and we can talk about it. Otherwise, let me know how your outline is going, and if you want more videos like this on how to navigate different parts of the writing process, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you next time. Bye.